Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Those of you new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Today we are going to do something new. I really am looking for feedback about how you guys like this content, so please let me know in the comments. But anyways, this is going to be my first installment of AoV Strategies, and it's called the Pre-Dragon Gank. The objective of this is to get a kill on the enemy mid laner at the 130 mark, and the reason you want to do this is to gain river control leading up to the first dragon spawn at 2 minutes. With that said, let's dive into an explanation and look at the map overall. Okay, here we are looking at the map, and what is shown on the map currently is the end goal for the 3v1 gank mid. And what's happening here is the blue circle represents your mid laner, the yellow circle represents support player, and the green circle represents the jungler. So this is the position you want, and then this red box is where you want to bait the enemy mid laner into so that the three of you can get a successful kill. Basically on this side, the reason if they come over here they're in trouble is the jungler is going to have their level 4 and their ultimate, so they can put out a lot of burst onto the enemy if they come this close to them. On this side, the support should have some sort of CC, which they can drop their CC on the enemy, and then the jungler can collapse over and the mid can also collapse onto them for the 3v1 gank. Whereas if they're standing in the middle of the lane here and they're kind of past the halfway point of the river, then the support and jungler can collapse on them from behind and the mid laner can come up and get damage on them also. Anyways, it should result in a kill, and then all three players can push mid and then come over and grab control of these various bushes. So they could grab control over here on this bush to see any of the enemy rotations, and if the enemy rotates from dragon to come help, they can catch them with an ambush. If the enemy jungler happens to be rotating over to get his buff or anything like that, or maybe still doing it, they can get an ambush there. But anyways, that's just an option they have. But the main thing, the main goal of this play is to establish control of the river so that your team can get dragon at 2 minutes when it spawns. And the final goal of the play. So let's talk about the setup. So what is going to happen for the setup is your mid laner is simply going to spawn. They are going to run down and they are going to grab control of this Darkslayer bush. The reason they're grabbing control of the Darkslayer bush is because they want to watch for the enemy invade, like so, if they invade their jungle. So that is what the mid laner is going to do. After they've watched for the invade, they're simply just going to come to lane and clear the waves. Keep in mind that the 130 mark represents the third wave. The third enemy minion wave is going to hit mid lane at 1 minute and 28 seconds. That's the other reason this play works very well, is because you have a jungler at level who just got level 4 ultimate. They're the only one on the map with ultimate, and the enemy is going to be busy clearing the wave that has just arrived mid at 130. Anyways, so that is the mid laner. That's a very easy, simple role. Support is going to do the opposite. They're going to start and they are going to come into the dragon side brush, and it's for the same reason as the mid. They are watching a dragon side invade into the jungle. Okay? If the enemy does invade the jungle, you're not going to be able to pull off the 130 because you need to handle the invade and just help your jungler get through it, and at the same time just the timings are going to be thrown off. So if an invade happens, abort the play but handle the invade properly. So anyways, the support's going to watch that. What the support is going to do if they don't see this invade is the first wave, they should not leech anything because the first wave will let your mid laner get level 2, but on the second wave they should be sitting close enough that they'll get their level 2, because for the gank they want to have both of their skills. Okay, so when the first wave is here, instead of leeching, what the support can do is simply come this way and check on the blue buff and see if the jungler started on this side of the map. If the jungler started this side of the map, that means at 130 they're going to be over here in this area, right? And your team can just keep that in mind when they are doing the gank mid, is they can keep in mind that the enemy jungler may be coming from this Darkslayer side of the map to support his mid laner. So that's the reason checking where the enemy jungler starts is very important. On the other hand, say that you come and you check blue buff and nothing's happening here, then you know that the enemy started red, and most likely when you gank 3v1 mid, the enemy jungler is going to be on the blue side of the map, or the dragon side is what I should be calling it, sorry. So that is the support's main job in this strategy. And then finally, let's cover the jungler. What the jungler is going to do is they are going to come out, they're going to start at red buff, okay? Or they're going to start on whatever buff is dragon side, okay? So in this case it's red, so they start dragon side red buff. They go small monster, small monster, small monster, small monster, blue buff, and then hustle and get into this bush, like so, right? And some notes on the jungler is not all junglers can clear and be in the bush by 1 minute and 30 seconds, depending on their clear speed. So what your team can do is you can help your team member kill the blue buff. You can't obviously always count on this. If you're in a 3-stack and the support in the mid or your other teammates, you can't count on the Darkslayer laner to help you leash the buff. So just know that if you run, like for instance, Violet, she's not going to be able to make it into this bush by 130 because her clear speed is not high enough. If you play a Rourke or like a Lindis, they do have the clear speed necessary to get the kills and then get into this bush for the 130 gank. So just keep that in mind. The jungler you play to execute this play really matters. Okay, so anyways, we discussed the goal, we discussed how they get in, so that is it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this content. This is the first time I've tried something of like an AoV strategy that I think will really help people in groups in ranked, and this is just a very powerful starting move because 1, you're watching for enemy invades, and then 2, you're going to get a very early gank mid, which is going to just get but one of your carries, jungle or the mid, started to get really fed, and then that's going to lead your team into most likely securing the first dragon of the game. So basically, if you practice this play and you get good at executing it, you should always be starting games with a very strong opening, and hopefully you can learn to snowball from there. But anyways, if you like this content, if you like these type of strategy explanations, please let me know in the comments below so that I can do more of it in the future. And as always, I hope you have an amazing day and happy ranking. Take care.